Notorious, so notorious.
It's Friday night, and the posse's back. Deep dives, local vibes, and headlines that matter, or totally don't. So crack a beer, crank it up. This is the NFNP.
Oh, yeah. All right. Here we go. All right. Coming to you live. I am in, I don't know if you guys even know where I'm at. I'm in Punta
Chicana,
Cana,
right? Yeah.
Dominican Republic. That's right. And so my beer of choice tonight is El Presidente.
Move it over. Can't see it.
So
There you go.
There it is. El
El
Presidente. You know,
Presidente.
I have an
That's
El
right.
Presidente shirt. I should have worn it.
Do you really?
I do.
Yeah. It's a,
Yeah, I got
it's a
one
pretty
down
good
there.
beer. It's the Dominican beer. I don't know. I'm not going to complain. I like, pretty much all beers, but
It's
uh,
like the Bud Light of the Dominican.
it's like the Bud Light of the Dominican, and it's cold. And so I learned a phrase a while ago because everybody has all these different countries. They have different slang. So if you want a cold beer in the Dominican Republic, especially if you're getting it in a bottle, you ask for vestida de novia. So un cerveza vestida de novia, which means the dress like my wife or like my girlfriend. So it basically means like a wedding dress. So they want it frosted white is what it means.
Uh,
So like you're getting it out of an ice cold
Frosty.
cooler, they want it frosted white. Yeah, which is what it means. But I think that's such a cool phrase, right? Like vestida de, like a wedding dress, vestida de novia, like my wife's wedding dress. It's such a cool slang term,
I just
but
want it cold.
it's a cold beer. Yeah, I'm used to saying like muy fria, right? And they understand
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
yeah.
Right. When I say Vestida de Novia, they're like, "Oh, this guy,
He
he's a
knows.
local, like
Yeah.
he knows what's going on."
Yeah, they
Yeah,
mistake you for
yeah, yeah,
local.
100%. Yeah, because I look like a Dominican, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And Duds, you're wearing a Gulf of America shirt, which I love. And I was just reading an article, or maybe it's probably more of just a meme, believe it or not, about how we didn't have any hurricanes that hit the United States this year, which is the first time in
Oh,
many
yeah.
years. And certainly it's the first time since we renamed it the Gulf of America. So
Mm.
So what do
hurricanes
you
were
think
like,
that
we're
means?
not messing with that.
We're not going near that golf.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
they don't want any part of it. That's for sure. We got Nilla over here trying to figure out his new headphones. We told him
Yeah.
to get headphones, and they ain't working, are they?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not liking it.
Yeah, all right. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out for future broadcasts. That'll be on me. I'm the tech guy. I got to figure that out. And Judge, you got new headphones.
I do. Yeah, I'm
Purple.
Yeah,
official now.
yeah. Well, I feel out of place because I'm not in my quote unquote studio. So I'm on the road and I'm using my makeshift headphones, but you got to do what
Your
you got to
your
do,
day
right? Like,
job, you know.
yeah, doing my day job, but I made sure that I carved out some time and I'm like, we're gonna figure this out, whether
For
I'm
the fans, you got to do it.
for the fans. That's right. Viewership went up, it ticked up a little bit in the last couple days.
Is
So
it? Really?
we had some new listens since you asked. So
Yeah, I wonder
that's
if
fun to see.
sharing the link on X made it a little difference,
Well, and maybe that's it. We're gonna, we got to branch out. I've got TikTok going, I've got Facebook going, now we got X going. So
Who's
I
got
renamed my
refuse?
X account NFNP Pod. So
Well, I was going to tell you about that. The little handle, you can change the handle under it too.
yep, I did. I
You
changed
did
it.
that
So
too?
it's
Okay,
yep. So we're at NFNP Pod now across all of our channels.
nice.
I'm still trying to learn TikTok. We're 40 plus years old, so this is a new
That's one I
venture
don't
for
have.
me.
Yeah.
Well, and I never had it. So I was like, I guess I got to bite the bullet and start collaborating with the Chinese. I don't love it, but
I think we'll get a lot of
what?
viewers over in China. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, so the cool thing is these apps now they'll translate all your stuff. AI does all the stuff, and then I think I told you we had over like 1,300 views last week on TikTok. Now
wow.
that doesn't always translate to followers of our podcast, but we did have a lot of TikTok views, which I take small clips, and so 1,300, that's pretty good for a week, if you ask me.
I would say
I
that's really
mean,
good. I mean, you
we're
hook
not
them
making
in
any money, but
with that intro that just hooks them in, and
that, and that's what it is. And it's topics like I have set for today that really hook the people in.
Mm.
So I know everybody's been asking. I've been getting emails from the listeners. We know that's not true. They want to know about the Epstein files.
oh,
So,
well, who doesn't?
you know, who doesn't? Well, I
I've been
started doing
waiting.
some research. Yeah, I started doing some research. I put all this stuff together. And then just in the last like 2 days, when I'm flying down to the Dominican Republic, all of a sudden, the Republicans, the Democrats, the presidents, they're just like, F it. Let's release all the Epstein files. And I'm like, you just screwed up my whole podcast outline. But that's all right. I figure we can still talk about it. I have some facts. And this is one of those topics where, of course, we all want to know what the hell's going on, but it's so hard to follow.
Right.
You're like, what's a conspiracy? What's not a conspiracy? What's going on? Are they going to release it? Are they not going to release it? The Democrats say that Trump's involved. Of course, Trump says he's not involved. I'm like, I don't
It's a
trust the
hoax.
Democrats. It's a hoax. Well, we know it's not a hoax. I mean, he is a convicted sex offender. He definitely had Epstein Island, and I have some stats about all that too. We know stuff was going on, but do you trust the Democrats when they come out and they say that Trump was involved? They said he was involved with Russia collusion. They said that he stole documents and they raided in Mar-a-Lago. What else? They said you know, um,
There's a lot of foul
he
play going on for sure.
lied on his taxes, whatever it may be. I'm like, I don't trust the Democrats whenever they come out and say anything about anti-Trump. I'm like,
Well, and I think
you just
that
hate
was the
them.
whole hoax thing that when he said that was they had control of those files for so long that who knows
Well,
what
that's the
they
thing.
did. Did they put information in there? Did they manipulate it? I think that's what he was talking about is like this is a
Also,
Democrat
I mean,
hoax.
the Democrats had 4 years when they were in office and they had full access to the Epstein files. Why didn't they release them when they had the chance? And then
Mm.
my other thought process is if you had any evidence that Trump was involved, why wouldn't you have released it before the election?
Yeah,
A
true.
hundred
Yeah,
percent. Yeah.
They would have. So that tells
yeah,
me that they don't have evidence that he's
yeah,
not
true.
involved. And people might not like Trump. And of course, he has some of those sound bites and whatnot from back in his first election. But I think we can all agree he's probably not a pedophile.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Hope
I
not.
don't get that vibe. I don't, well, I hope not too, but I certainly don't get that vibe.
Misogynist, yes,
So,
but
Who?
what?
the misogynist, yes, but maybe not,
Yeah.
pedophile.
I don't even know about that. He's been married 3 times. He's gotten people to marry him. That says something.
He's got power and money, so it doesn't take much.
Yeah. Well, you know what? He's not, Biden smelling girls' hair and doing all that
That's
weird
true.
stuff. He doesn't do any of that. I don't know.
I mean, if you're a misogynist, that's not against the law. I mean, the
No.
pedophilia stuff, that's highly
Well,
illegal.
I think that's a good.
So
I think that's a good point, and that's what all these Democrats are out here saying. Did you see this new thing from Crockett?
I
She's
try
been
not to listen to anything that idiot says.
Davey?
she's crazy, and she's from Texas, and she was on the floor. I think it was today. And when I'm traveling, it's hard to keep up with some things. But I think she was on the floor today talking about all of the campaign contributions that the Republicans got from Jeffrey Epstein. But she made one big mistake. She didn't verify any of this information, and it turns out that it was a completely different Jeffrey Epstein. So supposedly there's like 100 Jeffrey Epsteins in the country, which is bad luck for them.
Wow.
It's popular names. So this was a completely different Jeffrey Epstein. He's a doctor, and he was donating some money to the Republicans. And you got Crockett out here talking about all of this. And then she got busted by CNN, and she's on the news saying, "I never said which Jeffrey Epstein. I just said a
Oh,
Jeffrey
yeah,
Epstein."
okay, sure.
I'm like, come on, we all know what you're doing, and you got busted.
That's
Just
funny
own up to
because
it.
one of my coworkers, we were talking about some of the stuff like articles that are written about Trump, and he said that he saw a headline and it was Trump and somebody else went to a casino with some underage girls or something like that and got thrown out. And if you read the article, it showed that they were like 19. So they were underage for the casino, but they weren't underage.
Right. They weren't actually underage. Well,
Right.
the other thing is I don't think Trump, he doesn't drink, he doesn't gamble.
Right.
So when you say he's going to a casino, like what does that really mean? He wasn't
Is it
like
his
on the
casino?
floor playing craps. He doesn't do that. He doesn't do that. He guy's never had a sip of alcohol in his entire life.
What? That's insane.
No, I know, but it's true. It's true. And now, I mean, he doesn't subscribe to the NFNP pod. Otherwise, he'd be drinking some. He might drink El Presidente, actually. Just
He might change the name.
yeah, that's a great beer. Yeah, it'll be Trump. It'll be Trump beer before you know it. All right, so some quick facts. Oh, I have way too much to even talk about. We're not going to be able to do them all. So just since I put everything together, the House voted 427-1 to release the Epstein files. So I don't know why all of a sudden everybody's on board. I want to know. I don't know. I should have looked this up. Who's that one person that voted against it?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
they
saw
said it
that.
too.
Yeah,
He was a Republican, actually.
Yeah. I can't
I'm
remember
sure,
who
but
it
I'm
was
sure.
either.
Yes. Why? What's the
I
reason
don't know.
other
Good
than
question.
Check his hard
there was
drive.
that guy? Check his hard drive. Exactly. There was that guy on the OpenAI board. Did you hear about this guy? I can't remember his name, and I didn't really know who he was, but he resigned. Had to resign from the ChatGPT OpenAI board, and then he was a teacher, and so he had to come out in front of his class and be like, "Oh, you guys might know, you might hear some stuff about me. I don't know what's going on, but
Clay Higgins.
people are clearly going to get busted." Who was it?
Clay Higgins, Republican out of Louisiana.
I don't know that wasn't his name.
No, that's him.
The guy that voted against it.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was looking him up.
Do we know why he voted against it?
Let's see.
Does it say? It's got to be some other reason, unless he was
Bill's
on
broad
Epstein
language could
Island.
harm innocent people mentioned in the files.
Well, so
all
that's
the
the other thing
principled
they
no.
said. Yeah, the other thing they said is going to be highly redacted. So just like any other government stuff, how much are we really going to trust it? I don't know
Well,
that it's going to be
everybody
transparent.
agrees. Redact the victims' names. Nobody
Yeah,
nobody cares.
sure,
I mean,
right.
we care, but nobody wants them to be released.
We don't want that. We don't
just
want them
wanna
to
know
have an
who
extra
was involved.
harm, Yeah, we don't. Yeah. Now, that was the other thing with this recent quote unquote email dump that the Democrats, the same day that Trump reopened the government, which, if you ask me, that's a little coincidental, but they released these emails and they redacted the name of the victim, who is Guthrie, who unfortunately has passed away. So Republicans are like, why are you redacting her name? Except you're trying to make this seem like something that it's not, because Guthrie already went on record. She said that Trump was nothing but a gentleman, that he was not involved. And of course I think she ended up, committing suicide because of everything she went through with Jeffrey Epstein. But they redacted her name even after she's passed away, which is not typical. It's not normal.
And she's been open about it.
Exactly, right. So it makes you think like, okay, the Democrats are up to something. So, what are some
I
other
still don't
stats?
have
We
high
got-
hopes that we're gonna
No,
find out anything.
no. Well, that's the thing. So the Republicans did say that part of this whole thing is that they created a search engine, and it might be bipartisan, but they're essentially creating a search engine with all this so that we, the American people, can go in and search the search engine and get all of the information about the Epstein files. Is that going to come to fruition? I don't know. I would love to see that with the freaking UFOs. Let me. We were talking about this
Yeah.
last week. Let me type in UFO and see all the shit that comes up. I don't know that I'm buying it.
It's
So-
AMP now, or UAP? UAP.
Yeah, UAPs. Yeah, we clarified that last week.
Get your
If you
terminology.
haven't listened to last week's episode, you listen now, listeners. Listen to this week and listen to last week. All right, so I got generic Epstein. If you're not up on this, and there's some information because it's been such a big thing for such a long time, it's hard to keep track of. So Epstein was arrested on July 6th, 2019, at the airport. So I'm assuming he was maybe the Teterboro airport, maybe coming back to the U.S. or something like that, on sex trafficking and conspiracy involving minors. So we kind of know that already.
Mhm.
He had already pled guilty in Florida, so this was in 2008, to soliciting prostitution from a minor, received a prosecution agreement, and he became a registered sex offender. So that was in 2008. So the other big story that came out this week is there's a Democrat, and her name escapes me at the moment, but they were doing a deposition on all these Epstein files, and she was actually texting with Epstein. Did you guys hear about this?
No.
Yeah. And of course, she came out and she was just like, well, there's lots of criminals out there, like blah, 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 blah. And they're like, even CNN was like, wait a minute. But like, we knew Epstein at this point, he was already a registered sex offender. So why are you working with him? Why are you taking advice from him? It did not go well for her. So look that up. And I might have her name. I got lots of notes on this stuff, so it's hard for me to find all this information sometimes. But
Did they say when they're going to actually release it?
it's going to take some time. You
'Cause
know,
Trump
it's got to
signed it,
take some
right?
time. He signed it, so the Senate passed it, the House passed it, the Senate passed it, and Trump signed it.
I don't know how much more
But
time does it
again,
take. Why? I mean,
they're gonna have to redact the names. They're gonna have to do all kinds of stuff to make
well,
sure
that takes
that
like
it's
months.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be about 10
copacetic,
years or
yeah.
so, maybe.
Let's hope not that long. I'm thinking maybe 6 months, but we'll see. Did you guys hear about the Clintons? So the Clintons were supposedly subpoenaed to, to speak about this for the House committee, the House Oversight Committee, and they just never showed up. They're just like, no, we're not doing this.
You can just ignore a
So,
subpoena. Yeah, if you're a
well, they're gonna, yeah, you can, and I'm sure it'll take some time, but eventually, if they're gonna get you for, what do they call it when you ignore a
Obstructions, maybe?
subpoena? Contempt of court,
Contempt, yeah.
contempt, yeah, contempt. So we'll see what happens with that. But of course, that's been a big talking point. Epstein died on August 10th, 2019, so right before COVID. So we all know
how
the
long was he in
circumstances
jail?
around that.
Like a month?
I don't know if I have that information, but it wasn't like that long.
Did you say he got arrested in
And
July?
so he got arrested in July. You're right, July
So he was
6th.
dead a month
So
later.
we can do the math. Yeah, August 10th, he's dead. That's a good point. The two officers admitted to falsifying records related to required cell checks during his detention. And those
These are
charges against
the
those.
ones that were supposed to be watching him.
Yep. And those
Yeah.
charges were later dismissed. So, no harm, no foul.
Yeah, he's on
you know.
suicide watch, and then they just
Yes.
disappear.
So this is a fact, but also kind of a claim in the sense. So the cameras malfunctioned. We know that they malfunctioned. There's been some talk about
Malfunction.
that where, right, exactly. They missed exactly 1 minute.
Mhm.
And of course, it was that minute that this guy hung
Mm.
himself. So
EMP.
yeah, pretty crazy. So I won't say that there's a cover up, but there's definitely a conspiracy theory there.
Well,
right?
when they released the video, remember, when was that? 6 months ago, 5 months ago? I don't know. They
Yeah.
said, this is the full video. And then as people were going through it, they're like, hey, Cash, there's a missing minute here.
Exactly. Yeah. What's up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
How
kind of important.
convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of important. Exactly. So Epstein Island was Little St. James, which is part of the U.S. Virgin Islands. So when you hear about Epstein Island, that's the specific island that it was. It was Little St. James in the U.S. Virgin Islands.
You could fly over there and do a little investigation.
I'm
you know?
sure. Of course. Yeah.
You're
What do you
close.
think could the pod fund that? Is that what you're saying? Like, is that a write-off?
It's a write-off.
Let's all go to
Well,
the
and
U.S.
see-
Virgin Islands. Well, right. We'll write that off, and so we can subtract that from our taxes. I
What's
love
going on
it.
with that island now?
I don't know. I think that's a good point.
Probably back up
Is it
and
for
running.
sale?
Somebody else knew.
I'm sure the government seized it. Right? It's just probably just free land that the government has, and they'll wipe it clean, and then they'll sell it for a profit.
Was that a U.S. Virgin Island?
Yeah, U.S.
Okay.
Virgin Island. Yeah. So he also had properties in Manhattan, Palm Beach, Florida. He had a New Mexico ranch, and he also had a spot in Paris. So
What was
lots of
his
money.
occupation, other than this sex trafficking stuff? Did he have a job?
Good question.
I don't know. Was he a lawyer or was he just a
I
consultant?
don't think there's a
The
lawyer.
most convenient job out there is consultant.
Let's ask Grok.
Yeah, you ask Rock. All right, I'll keep going. Is it his wife? I don't know. Ghislaine Maxwell. So she was arrested on July 2nd, 2020.
I don't think they're married. I think that was like his partner.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
right. Exactly. I think so. I was like, I don't think they were actually married. And obviously she has a different last name, but she was convicted in December of 2021 on charges including sex trafficking of minors, and then she was sentenced in 2022 to 20 years in prison.
Hopefully she ends up hung also.
Well, I don't know.
she is in jail still, right?
She is in jail, and there's been some talk about her, if she actually comes out and reveals everything. Not an immunity per se, but maybe she
So
gets
he was
more of a
a
sweetheart deal.
Epstein was a financier, money manager, real estate developer, asset manager, and a science philanthropist.
Means absolutely nothing. It's all a bunch
was
of
an entrepreneur.
BS yeah, it's a bunch of BS. How can I put that on my resume, right? And to make myself sound all important.
Just put it on there. I mean, if you can. Just
Yeah,
AI.
exactly. Anybody can. Right, exactly. I don't know here. What else? A federal judge ordered a major unsealing of the Epstein-related civil records in early 2024. Hundreds of pages were made public, but names and details were redacted. September 10th, 2025, Senate Republicans narrowly blocked a Democratic effort to mandate public release. And that's where things get confusing, right? So you had Democrats that didn't release it for 4 years. Then when Trump gets elected and Pam Bondi came in, they're like, we're going to release all the files. And you remember they came out with these binders and there was
Yeah.
absolutely nothing in them.
It
And
was all
then the
stuff that had been
Democrats,
released already.
yeah, exactly. And then the Democrats come out and they're like, we want to release it. And the Republicans are like, wait, not so fast. And so there's really, there's no real transparency here between
Don't
Democrats
know
and
what to
Republicans.
believe.
And
Yeah.
yeah, you don't know what to believe. That's the whole thing. And now all of a sudden, everybody's like, release the files. And Trump wouldn't sign this if he had anything to hide. So that's
Well,
why
I
I
don't know if
started
it's a
thinking
choice
that.
anymore.
Well, you're right. I mean, there's certainly a lot of public pressure and certain
Yeah, if he would have
information,
came out
at
and
least about
vetoed it, that would have looked really bad.
Right. I think
So
so.
I think you got to do it.
I think you're right. But if you do it knowing that you're going to be impeached or charged criminally, and maybe he has immunity now, but I don't know, then you wouldn't do it. So it tells me that I'm sure there's nothing here. I'm sure we will learn nothing from any of this. It's a bunch of hogwash. The American people are going to get just
Bunch of bull hockey.
just like a bunch of bull hockey, and we can't use that name for the title this week.
Ooh, no.
So yeah, Nilla, I need
Bunch of
you.
hogwash.
You had the it's an Enigma title from a couple of weeks ago, and
Oh, yeah.
I had the bull hockey title from last week. So maybe we need Duds to come up with a title for this week. And it's all about the sound bites. We need some sound bites.
Let me think of that.
Trump also said that, of course, he banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago. So that's the whole thing. He was like, why would I do this? And then there's other claims that Trump was one of the first public figures to cooperate with the FBI when he said this guy was a creep. I wish I could do the Trump voice. I can't.
He's
this
a
guy
creep.
was a creep. Yeah, he's a creep. I can't do it. I can't even pretend to do it.
He's a creep, big creep.
Yeah, you got definitely better than I do. Duds will have to be our Trump impersonator for sure. All right, I don't know. What do you guys think? I have nothing else on this. I mean, a couple of other stats. I mean, but more or less, I think the Dems have nothing here because of all the stuff they've already been busted for. All these things that we thought, they got the mainstream media to go along with the Russia probe. That's my best Trump right here. The Russia probe, the Russia hoax. I don't know. It's all.
I don't
BS.
think we're gonna see shit. And I kind of wonder if it's like, is this all just they're gonna release a bunch of redacted files? It's not ended up gonna be showing anything that people want to know. And this is really just kind of keeping our attention from maybe something else that's going on. Are they sending
And that's
hundreds of
exactly
billions
it.
of dollars overseas now or somewhere else?
Yeah, getting funneled. And that's the point I was trying to make earlier when the Democrats released these emails that really didn't prove anything, but they released them on the same day that Trump had all this momentum from opening the government. And I'm like, that is not coincidental. Those emails did not just happen to get released on that day. And again, to my point earlier, if they had any real evidence against Trump, it would have been released before the election because they didn't want this guy, obviously.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's anything.
I don't know.
I remember reading something not too long ago about, I guess, Prince, was it Andrew? I guess he had frequented that
Yeah.
island. And
Yeah.
I guess, who was the king or who over there in charge right now?
Well, Charles. So he just
Charles the Third. Is it the
yeah,
third?
yeah, wow, whatever.
Yeah.
He got rid of Prince Andrew. It's his brother, right? Got rid of his title.
Yeah.
So he no longer has that official title anymore.
So what is it?
So
Just
I mean,
Andrew?
I guess he thought that he had done something. I mean, the people, I think, over there called for it, basically his, like,
Yeah.
you know, like, yeah, we don't want you to have any sort of power anymore.
Off with his
Yeah.
head.
I think yeah, right. That was the French, but
Yeah.
right.
We're bringing it back.
But why not? We're bringing it back, right? You know who else was I think a 100% firm participant in Epstein Island was Stephen Hawking.
Oh,
I mean, they have pictures of him, and of course he's in his wheelchair, but he's got like 6 underage girls around him and all this stuff. I don't know.
And Clinton,
Now
right?
well,
Wow.
I don't know they have pictures of all of this, but I think there's a lot of questions there.
well, wasn't
There's a
there
lot of
rumors
questions.
that they have like video footage and they had to have all this stuff because the
I
whole
think I heard
point-
that
Well,
about Diddy too, but I haven't seen it.
I was just about to say the
Right.
same thing. I was going to say the exact same thing. I was like, Diddy had all of this, and have we seen anything?
right?
No.
Well, I
You
think the
know, it
whole
was all
idea
swept under
everybody
the rug.
thinks that it's a big, blackmail operation. So if it is, then there would be photos and videos of a whole bunch of people.
These people, they have too much money. There's too many people in their pockets. They figure it out. That's what I'm trying not to stress
If
about
not,
these
they
things
end up dead.
because, well, and that's the Clintons. The Clintons kill them. That is not an official statement. It's only satire. Don't come after me, Clintons. Satire. It's only
Yeah,
satire.
they're coming after us, I'm sure. Yeah.
Can't find you. You're in
Wait.
Punta Cana. You're out of the country.
Yeah, for
We're safe.
now. Yeah, for now. I come home for Thanksgiving, and then
Arrested.
I'm right back here after Thanksgiving. I got one more trip for the year, right back to Punta Cana.
We're gonna get you
I
at the airport.
went through. I know. I went through DC. That's how I flew down here. So I gotta go back through DC. So wish me luck.
through Dulles.
Yeah, through Dulles. I'm exposing all of the government secrets here on the NFNP pod.
You're gonna be on the
so-
no-fly list.
God, that would screw up my whole career, right? That's why I had to do the whole masking thing during COVID. I couldn't get blacklisted. I was like, ugh. I had to be, I had to put the masks on and all of that. Now, when I went to Europe during COVID, and I flew Lufthansa, and they were one of the last airlines to require masks. Now it was a work trip, so I got business class. It was the first time that I've ever flown business class over pond, over
Very
the
nice.
yeah, which is very nice.
You get a
Don't
lay
get me wrong.
down
I do it. It was like a 80% lay down seat. It wasn't 100% lay flat, but I had the big screen like TV. I could
Still
lay
nice,
down.
Yeah.
Very nice. Don't get me wrong, but
They treat
they
you
kept
like
coming
so
around.
nice.
And they did,
Yeah.
but they kept saying the whole mask thing, and I was like, oh, I got my beer.
Like, hey, I'm in business class. I don't.
I'm like,
that's
in
for the
between
people
some-
back in coach.
And eventually I went to sleep, and they never said anything, and I didn't wear the mask the entire time. And then on the way home, so this is what was most interesting. So I'm in Frankfurt on the way back, and they asked to see my vaccine card, and it was not required anymore. So I threw a little bit of a stink. I was like, you do not need it like that. Like, there is no reason for you to be asking me this.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They eventually let me on the plane. All was good. But
Gotta watch
I was
out.
like, I gotta watch out. I can't get on the no-fly list.
We're going to
Otherwise,
German jail.
yeah, right. And the NFNP pod is not making enough money to support me not having a day job. That's for sure. All right. Anything else for Epstein?
Epstein.
Yeah. Just wait and see, right? I think that's all we can do at this point. Let's wait and see what happens. If I know. Anything,
Sorry,
I don't
listeners,
have
we got nothing. We got no breaking
I don't-
news for you.
I don't have a lot of faith in the system, I think is the main message.
I thought you
Um,
actually had all the name, like the list right now. That's what I thought you had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Breaking news. Yeah, we
Drop
would
it
go
in here.
viral if I
Name
had
drops.
the list. Mm. All right.
That
Well, I
might
got another
boost the
story.
viewership.
Oh, and I'm hoping this next story might boost the viewership. And it's my local the Lou story. So this is a St. Louis cold case, and one that I did not know about, but it's a Thanksgiving cold case. So it's relevant. We're a week away from Thanksgiving. And I did not know about this. And it has been on one or two other podcasts. I did go give them a listen. I did a little bit of research. And I think it's an interesting story for anybody that's into true crime. And of course, you feel bad for this lady. So her name was Nancy Brannon. She was 34 years old, and she vanished around Thanksgiving in 1986. So we're going back a long time. We were barely around back then.
How old was she?
But the case. So I do have that here. Let me work down my list here.
That is quite a
She
cold
was.
case.
Yeah, I know. And so it gets brought up like roughly every Thanksgiving, and the family tries to bring more awareness to it, of course, because she's officially a missing person. They never found a body or anything like that. So obviously, I think she's presumed dead. So she was 5'4", 120 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes, and she was born in 1952. So that would make
She would have been like
her,
70 now.
she would have been like
65 or something.
73, 73
Yeah.
now, something like that. Yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm basing this off my parents. I hope they're not
Yeah.
listening. They were born in 54, so she's a little bit older. But again, she passed away in 86. So I don't know. Again, Duds, you're a mathematician here. So
Sorry, I
52
wasn't
to
listening.
82
What?
would have been 52 to 82 would have been 30 years. So she was 34 years old, give or take. So again, she disappeared around Thanksgiving. She was last seen after midnight near Grand and Delore in South St. Louis. So I think we kind of all know probably where that is. And she went out for dinner and drinks with friends. So
And just
out
never
and
came
about,
back.
right? Just never came back. That's exactly it. But her car, which was a 1983 Dodge Charger, you had a Dodge Charger, didn't you, Noah?
It was a Challenger.
Challenger.
Yeah.
Challenger. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. Right. Not a Charger. That's too nice. Yeah. Too fancy. Too
Mine was a
fancy for you.
78.
A 78, was it really? Oh wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So she had an 83 Dodge Charger, and it was found at her apartment complex, which was in Shrewsbury. And there were no immediate signs of a struggle based on the car. So the car was in her apartment complex. So there's some questions there. So we'll get back to that. So she was officially listed missing on November 26th in 1986, and her case is being handled by the Shrewsbury Police Department, which is pretty small
I was gonna say that's probably not a
right? Like,
lot of
yeah, I don't know. That's
investigators
a good
working
thing.
there.
And they have had some help from other departments and the FBI and stuff like that in over the years. But right, very small. So in late 2023, local TV outlets started bringing the case back to light based on appeals from the families. So there's that. In October of 2025, so just recently, the Shrewsbury police conducted a fresh search in South County using cadaver dogs and ground penetrating radar at a residential property as part of a cold case review. So I've
When?
got some more information about that. So that
October
was
of this year.
October of this year. So just like a month ago, right?
Right.
So
Really?
long time has passed. Yeah.
Why
So
at the
they're out
specific
there.
residence, I wonder.
Well, so that was a question I had, and I had to do a little bit of digging to find out why that was. And let me just keep going down the list, and I will get to that. You'll start to connect the dots here. Let's see. And again, the police are still asking for tips. The family reports, based on 2023, that she may have been socializing in South City the night she disappeared. I think we know that already. Shortly before her car turned up back at her apartment complex. So she was out drinking, which I think we know. The case remains unsolved. multiple outlets again, Fox 2 News, St. Louis Magazine, social media have all started to amplify this case.
Do
All
they
right, so
know if
here's a
she
couple of
took her
other
car
things.
and like she
Well,
took
I
her
think
car with her?
she definitely took her car with her, but I think there's questions about, was she the one that brought it back,
Okay.
or is this staged,
Yeah.
right? Was
So I was
she
wondering if she brought it
murdered?
back and it happened
Yes.
after that, or
Yes. Yeah. So, and I'm going to get to this. So there is some other information about her purse. Her purse was located under a bush near the car, and it had cash, which means it
Mm,
wasn't a quote unquote robbery.
right.
And this is a big point of contention here with the family and some other things. Nowadays, I think it's a little, you don't really talk about this, but back in 1986, this was a big deal. And they reported on this, that she had a freshly filled prescription of birth control pills in her purse. I mean, again, I think now we wouldn't question that. I think that's pretty normal. But in 1986, again, they were like, wait a minute, what's going on? Was she dating somebody that people didn't know about? Where did she get this prescription from? It wasn't as common as it is today. So that was a big talking point, again, back in 1986. So the family, the relatives say that she may have been pregnant and that she was having an affair with a married coworker before she disappeared.
Mm.
So that is, I think, the big talking point. Like, okay, now there's no evidence that she was pregnant. The family just said she may have been pregnant. So nobody has come out and said she told us she was pregnant.
Right.
So it's speculation. Now and
Yeah,
again,
and you
she
think with
has.
the birth control, like she wouldn't be pregnant.
Now here's the other story though, and I haven't gotten to it. So her supposed affair was with, again, a married man who was a pharmacist. So people, the relatives, the family, they're saying that he was the one that was giving her this prescription for the birth control so that she wouldn't get pregnant while he's having an
Mm,
affair on his wife,
Mm.
right? So again, I don't know, but again, by today's standards, not that big of a deal, but
Or
back
maybe
then,
he just put the prescription in her purse. She wasn't even taking it.
it's possible,
Who
because they're
knows?
saying this. They're saying this whole thing was staged. That somebody brought her car back. That they threw the purse conveniently under the bush. Again, no money was taken out. This birth control was right there.
It
Who
seems odd
knows?
that they would do that. Why would you even throw it in the bush? Why not just leave it in the car?
Leave it there.
If you're going
Right.
to do that, or take it with you and throw it somewhere else, it would never be
Maybe to
found.
make it, maybe to stage it, to make it look like maybe she was attacked
Yeah, or
or
kidnapped at
something
that
else,
time.
kidnapped,
Probably
right?
abducted.
And yeah, right, maybe something like that. But again, the family doesn't think that. I think basically they
By a
think she was
UAP.
murdered and then
That's what I was thinking.
by a UAP, beam me up, Scotty. So the police did interview this married coworker, but again, it was Thanksgiving and he had an alibi. Now, who do you think his alibi was? If you had
His
a
wife.
guess.
His wife.
His wife. Yeah, you don't even have to think about it, right? You're like his wife. Now, that wouldn't hold up today, right? Like your wife, that's not much of an alibi, but I guess in 1986,
I mean, I
good
don't know why
enough.
it wouldn't. Like,
I mean, if he was at a Thanksgiving dinner or something, surely there would have been other
Yeah.
family
Other
there,
people,
maybe.
like just her.
yeah,
But they
okay.
never said that. They just said that the wife was the alibi. So I don't know. And again, she didn't go missing until midnight. Oh, okay. So let's see. So we talked about the pregnancy, the affair. In 1820 or in October 2025, the South County property.
Bush.
Skipping ahead, that South County property used to belong to the pharmacist. Now I could not find his name. There was no information online in the deep dive that I did about who this person was. But based on this other podcast that her niece was on, which is on YouTube, and I'll cite it in the notes for the podcast. She says that this guy moved like 5 times after his affair, Nancy, after she went missing. He moved to like 5 different states, bounced around.
So did he admit
So
he admitted to the affair?
I think more or less, yes. probably to the police. Now, I think he's still together with his wife, which is interesting. Um, but right, I'm pretty sure from what I can tell,
Yeah,
he
it sounds
admitted to
kind of
the affair,
suspicious.
but
Yeah.
said, I didn't kill her. I like, right, which of
But I'm
course,
moving. I'm
like,
getting out of here.
they all right, and I think that's interesting too. But again, they went to his house. They took the cadaver dogs. They did the ground penetrating
Radar.
machines or whatever. And they found yeah, right, lidar, radar, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
They didn't find anything.
Like they
So
thought that he buried her
um,
body in his backyard.
well, I guess so. And they also did soil probes, and again found nothing. So
Yeah, that doesn't
uh,
surprise me. I mean, that
Yeah.
would be
right,
pretty dumb.
yeah,
Did they
yep, yep,
search his
yep.
house?
They didn't search his house again, and he doesn't live there anymore, so they might not
Right.
have that
Probably.
stuff.
He's
So
probably buried underneath in the basement.
I mean, if you were
right,
going to kill
so
somebody, would you bury him in your backyard and then leave him there
No,
for
I would
40
go like
years?
far, far away.
Yeah.
well, so that's one of the things is usually when they start like narrowing things down, they look for places that you kind of know. Like if you were a Boy Scout back in the day, and you know about like this campsite, they go and they're like, oh, we think it was Nilla, well, we know he was a Boy Scout. Let's go check, and that's how they find this. So if you're gonna break revelation here, if you're ever gonna murder somebody, bury them in a spot you have never been to before. Never, you got to go find a place in the woods that is completely remote, not related to anything you've
I
ever
always
done
thought that I would have a
before.
good spot, like in the middle of nowhere. So, like my great uncle who used to own this property out, and I'm not going to say
Nope.
where. Nope, can't
Oh,
go
I know
there.
where.
No, that'd be a
Can't
terrible
go
place to do
there.
it.
They
Terrible
can't find out
place.
where. The authorities will never figure out where it is. They won't know who I'm talking about.
You know, another St. Louis murder that happened years ago that was one of the crane companies here in St. Louis where the owner ended up killing his wife. Did you hear that?
Budrovich
Mm-mm.
or Redbird
No, it
or
was I think it was McLaughlin Crane and
that's a
Hoist.
construction company, definitely. I don't know. Do they do cranes?
Let
Yeah.
me look that up. I don't want to say the wrong name here. But
All right, you
anyway,
look it up. I have
whoever it was,
only. Oh, go ahead.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But the owner of the company ended up, like, I think his wife was going to divorce him or something, and he ended up killing her and like burying her out in the woods. But they tracked his car, like found or her phone or something like that, and went right to where she was. I mean, he did a terrible job.
How long ago was this?
I don't remember. I'll look it up. You keep working.
Not from '86,
Well,
but yeah.
No, this was pretty recent.
Okay.
Well, see, and that's the thing with 1986. Obviously, there's no cell phone records. There's none of this stuff. Like nowadays, it's hard to cover up a murder. I mean, they know where you're at all times. They know your Google search. They know your Chat GPT history, all that information.
Let's see.
I don't
Oh yeah.
know.
Okay, there we go. It was Linda McLaughlin, 57, of Sunset Hills. So it was McLaughlin Crane and Hoist, and it was the owner,
Sunset.
her estranged husband, John McLaughlin. And let's see.
Well,
Disappeared
see, that's
after
the
being
other
with
thing is,
friends. Yeah.
I think I do remember the story, but it's always just like in this instance. It's always the boyfriend, the husband. Almost like it's very rarely just this random person. I mean, I guess every now and then, but that's why when you watch these crime shows, 9 times out of 10, it's the freaking husband, right? I mean, I don't know who they're
So
thinking they're gonna.
they were going through a divorce, I guess, and it says that
Yeah, I remember this story. I do
he
remember
killed her at
this.
the business by throwing her into a steel rack and causing fatal injuries. He then dismembered her body, disabled the GPS in her SUV, which was later found abandoned in the city, and buried her
Yeah.
remains in a shallow grave in Mark Twain National Forest, 160 miles southwest of St. Louis.
Oh, well.
How did they find it? I wonder.
Let's see.
It was probably their camping spot.
Took a plea
That's-
deal,
that's-
sent to
I'm telling you.
20 years. Let's see, how did they?
What year was it?
2006. Oh, they found her in 2016. It happened in 2015.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do remember it now that you bring it up.
Yeah,
know,
and
but
it
at
was
least
like
they
right after I moved back here. So
and at least they found justice. At least the family got justice. And that's the thing with this.
OnStar.
So that OnStar,
Yeah,
right?
advanced
There you
forensic
go.
analysis of GPS and OnStar data.
So in Nancy's case here, so she's been missing for 37 something years, and there's just nothing else to go on. They've never arrested anybody. Somebody got away with it. And so so the podcast that I referenced earlier was called The Brighter Side of Blue. And it's, I guess, a group of police officers. And so they interviewed her niece, I think, who, of course, is now really grown up. And she had a couple of claims that I couldn't find anywhere else. So I got it straight from the podcast. Here's one that's strange. They administered a bunch of lie detector tests across different suspects, but not the pharmacist, not the affair, right? Like
Weird. Yeah.
The most probable, like,
now,
suspect.
now
Not that
polygraph.
holds up in court
They're,
anyways, though, does it?
well, that's the thing. That's what I was gonna say. That it's not admissible in court, but like, come
So why do
on,
they
like you're
even
not
do
even
it?
gonna like.
Mm.
Why do they
Maybe
even do it?
maybe
I
they'll
know,
feel
just
like
to,
they'll break under the pressure, and
yeah, yeah,
it's not a lie if you believe
Well,
it.
you
yeah.
said something earlier too about justice. I mean, that's a good. I was talking about the guy at work actually again about this justice because, like, he didn't understand what's going on with this whole Epstein files and stuff, and I was like, well, everybody wants to know the names basically of these people, so therefore they either don't affiliate with them, don't do business with them. These people go to jail. At least there's some sort of justice, right? But that's what's that really mean, justice? Because what are we talking here? An eye for an eye. So what you're
Yeah,
kill these people? I mean, they didn't necessarily kill them, so that's not really, you know what I mean? I don't know.
it's never true, right? It's never
Yeah,
not
it'd be
not in
jail
today's
time,
society, and right.
and maybe
Yeah.
large fines to compensate the family and the victims.
Maybe. I mean, yeah,
Well,
peace of mind. I guess at least the family knows what happened and, whether they suffered or where they are or, yeah.
some other news that came out this week that's, I mean, loosely related to this is the O.J. Simpson, the Goldstein family, I think just reached well, I don't know what the word is,
A settlement,
agreement with, yeah, a settlement with the O.J. estate that they will, and I guess this actually happened years ago. O.J. owed a bunch of money and never paid on it. But the estate just agreed to pay millions of dollars now to the Goldstein family. But again, I mean, when did that happen? 1995. So
Yeah.
you talk about justice. Like, okay,
Yeah,
they
right.
finally are going to get
30 years later.
a
Wow.
$1 million, right? 30 years later, like, yeah, I don't know. I guess money is something. It ain't
Yeah.
bringing your family
Right.
back.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyhow, I mean, with Nancy, again, it's there's no justice. There's no
Pelosi?
real leads.
Yeah. No.
And Pelosi. With this cold case. So, I mean, if any listeners know anything, the 12,
Still
13
unsolved.
listeners that we have, still unsolved, so almost,
I wouldn't hold my
what,
breath. I don't think that's ever going to be solved.
39 years or something like
Though.
that.
It's
Yeah,
crazy
so,
though that there are like cold cases like this that with technology nowadays, basically, they come back and they find evidence somehow, and it's like, I mean, people think that they get away scot free, and they
Right.
come knock on their door 20 years later and stuff, and they're like, "Oh,
yeah.
I guess you're here for
Well,
they killed this person."
Did you hear about some of
I
the
listen.
cases that were solved because of like the 23andMe or like the
Yeah.
Yes, well,
genetic
the
stuff?
Golden State Killer, one of the
Yeah.
most notorious serial killers and serial rapists in history, was solved because of
And
DNA.
it wasn't even him, right? It was like a family member that
Well, so the
sent it
family
in.
member submitted their DNA, and they were able to match it up with what they had on record.
Like,
They
wait a
never
second,
had the
that
actual
matches
right.
this,
They were
but-
like, we know it's a direct relative, and I guess they were able to narrow it down from there. And they busted down his door. The guy's like in his 70s now. This was several years ago, and he was like cooking a turkey. And they busted down his door, and all he said was, "It's about time."
That's
That is
crazy.
that's a true story. I mean, there's lots of documentaries about it now.
Yeah.
The Golden State Killer. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, go check it out. But yeah, that was because of DNA. The other thing is, I was going to say, I listened to this podcast pretty early on when podcasts are starting to get popular. It's called Up and Vanished, and highly recommend it. And actually, my wife and we actually went and saw him live at the pageant. Because once a podcast gets popular enough, they go and they start doing all their tours.
Hmm.
They
We
brought
don't
their
know. We
tour
wouldn't know.
to. We wouldn't know.
When's our
Not
tour schedule coming out?
yet. Yeah, we're South County, North County,
Got high
West
hopes. Got high
County.
hopes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Not East Side.
So, but this was, yeah, not East Side. We're not going over to Illinois that's run by
Yeah.
Democrats, you
Yeah.
know. But it's actually a really good podcast, and I think there's a couple of seasons of it now. But it's about this missing woman, and she was a beauty queen down in Atlanta, give or take, you know, down in Georgia. And her case was unsolved for whatever it was, 20 plus years. And this podcaster just starts looking into it, and he essentially solves the case, you
No
know.
kidding.
And so yeah, it's pretty neat. So if you're interested in it, go check it out. It's a great podcast. I mean, I've spoiled it. I guess I haven't spoiled who the murderer is, but they arrested somebody and he's been charged and all of that. But it's pretty cool. And when he was when he came to the pageant, and he said that season 2 was going to be about a Missouri case, and we're like, oh, but then it wasn't. And I was like, but that's just a bunch of hogwash. Just because you were in St. Louis, like we're local case season 2,
Yeah.
you know. And he ended up
Lead
doing
me on
something
for
else. So
ticket
maybe.
sales. That's all.
Maybe, I don't know. But it was pretty interesting, and it is a good podcast. But sometimes it's just about bringing awareness. And, you know, I think you got to give props to the family, you know, to not letting this go. Obviously, it's been a long time, but you never know when somebody might leak something or somebody might talk or, you know, not that we're going to be this podcast, but somebody goes in and starts looking into this case a little bit more. Yeah, I hope not, right? I'm going to assign you some homework, Moyer. All right, Moyer, I need you, Nilla, excuse me, go, go interview the family. You know, take notes. I report back.
That would be interesting, though. Who is it?
Nancy.
Well, who's her
I forget her
relative? I
last
need
name.
some family members.
I don't know. Nancy
Right.
Brannon. I'm gonna give you that much information.
All right.
Information.
Tell
You
what
figure it out from there.
What is kind of cool though, like back 40 years ago, if you had an issue like this, a murder, and you try to get on TV, and you might get on there once or twice,
Yeah.
but it's hard to
Unsolved
get the word
mysteries.
out. Yeah, but
Right.
now
Yeah.
you can get on social media, you could have it broadcast. You know, you could be doing that every single day and get it out to millions
Well,
of people.
basically, if you have nothing to hide, everybody should just do one of these 23andMe type of things, you know. Then, I mean, actually, I thought about doing one. I thought it'd just be interesting to see, like, you know, your family history, ancestry, and stuff.
I'm sure it would, but
I've
never done one.
Oh, yeah.
I gave my parents one for Christmas a couple of years ago, but I'm not going to say that I'm never going to murder somebody. Like it could happen. Yeah, I hope not. My plan is not to murder anybody. But you know, I said that to my mom one time, and she got really mad at me. And I was just like,
You were serious.
you never know, Mom.
never know.
You know?
No.
I mean,
I was like, I'm not
circumstances.
I'm not gonna completely discount it. And you know, I think I'm gonna give away my clue here because I really think I'm
Don't
never
mess
gonna
with
murder
Bryce.
somebody. Don't mess with me. But if I was gonna murder somebody, you know what I'd do? The first thing I'd do is go get a pair of shoes that was the wrong size.
There you go. Put gloves on.
It's that
Wear
simple.
gloves.
Put small gloves on or big
Shave your whole
gloves.
body.
Yeah, shave your whole body and then get shoes that are either too big or too small because they're like, well, it was a size 14 shoe, and I'm like, I'm size 11. You know, like it ain't me. It's
I remember
the
thinking about all
OJ.
that when we used to watch CSI all the time.
Sure, yeah.
Just
Oh,
wear
like,
a pair of high
Now I
heels.
know how to avoid all these crimes. Just
Right. Like, don't wear your everyday tennis shoes. You know, like that's the easiest way to get.
you also
caught.
assume that the police have these microscopes that can zoom in on every little piece of fabric and find these little
Yes.
little
Yes.
hair, that's going to break the
Yeah,
case
yeah.
wide open. I don't
Yeah,
think
what's
that
the
happens.
gray hairs that we have in our beards? You know, you'd have to shave everything.
Did you ever see that movie? I think it was Kevin Costner, Mr. Brooks, maybe. Did you ever?
Yeah, it's a great movie with Dane
Yeah.
Cook.
Yeah,
Dane
he's the
Cook.
murderer.
Yeah, yeah.
Isn't he the protege, Dane Cook?
Well, Dane Cook is the protege. He wants to be a serial killer, and Kevin Costner kills him. And I think
Just ruined
I
it.
think he buried. Damn
It's
it.
been out for a
It is-
while.
It has been out for a very
I think
long
I've seen
time.
it actually.
Like maybe 2012, maybe even before that. Maybe like 2000.
He gets all mad,
2008.
right, at Dane Cook because he's very meticulous and has his ways of not ever getting
Yeah, I think
caught.
I think he kills him with a shovel and then buries him in the cemetery in an unmarked grave, which Dexter also does at
I was
some
thinking it
point.
sounded a lot like Dexter.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little Dexter-ish for sure. But it's a good movie. Good
Yeah, it is
movie.
pretty good.
Anything that Kevin Costner is in, honestly, I think
True.
every movie he's been in is
Yeah,
pretty
really. Like,
good.
you don't have many bad movies by him. He's
No.
pretty solid.
Dancing with Wolves, For the Love of the Game. What was the one with Ashton Kutcher even? Where they're in the
Perfect Storm.
Coast Guard. I think it might be called the Coast
Yeah, he
Guard.
was. Oh,
That's
yeah, it was.
yeah.
What was that?
Perfect Storm.
No, that was
No?
a Perfect
No.
Storm.
Oh,
That was
the
George
wrong
Clooney. I think it might be called the Coast Guard.
No, it wasn't. It was. I can't remember what it was called. It wasn't the Coast
That's
Guard.
a good movie.
He was.
He's got a
the
couple
one
of
where he's the
baseball
football,
movies.
the team owner of the football team.
Draft Day. That's
Draft
a good
Day.
movie.
Mhm.
That's a good movie. Even yeah. Anything
Wyatt
that
Earp.
he's just a good actor.
He was in Wyatt Earp. too.
Wyatt Earp. Yeah. He's
good.
legit. I think he's
And he's
good.
a director.
good.
He does the directing too. I mean,
Yeah.
him and Mel Gibson. I've
I
always been big fans of just how talented those guys are. They do it
Yeah,
all.
Mel Gibson hasn't done a lot lately, and he got in a little bit of heat, but
No,
all
he's
of it.
back.
Maverick?
He's back.
he's back. I know. Maverick. Do you remember that movie? That's a great movie.
Maverick, yeah.
With the poker and everything like
Mhm.
that, and it's twist after twist.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I mean, all of
Braveheart.
his.
Love Braveheart.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Lethal
There's
Weapons.
some good actors out there. Lethal Weapons, all of those. Danny Glover.
Danny Glover.
Yeah.
You know Danny
Yeah.
Glover's son? He's a big actor now too, and he's like up
Yeah.
and coming. Like he's a singer, rapper, all this stuff.
I don't even know if he's up and coming anymore. I think
Well,
he's
probably
pretty
not.
legit at this point. I don't know his first name, so
He's up there, and
He's
he's
not.
in
I
the
think it's
game.
Daniel. I think it's Daniel Glover Jr.
Junior. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Well, he's not at the level of his dad. He hasn't been in Predator 2 yet.
No,
But
not yet. He'll be in 3.
not yet. Not yet. All right. What do you think? Should we spin the wheel?
I guess we might as well.
All right, let's see it.
I don't
You
even
know,
know.
you
I
need
don't
a
even know
little-
what we have
you need
here.
a little graphic during this. showing
Well,
the
I mean, I
release
technically could do that, but it's a big thing. I'm not going to mess with it this
If he's
week,
at home.
especially since I only if I'm at home, it'd be different. I only have one screen. I can't even see all of the subjects. I got sports. I've got politics. I've got let me see what it comes up.
Spin the wheel, Brad.
Geopolitics is what came up. Oh no, sorry. Sports came up as the winner. It's a little less exciting for you guys.
Skip it.
Why? It's about soccer.
Yes. It is about soccer, and I'm not trying to piggyback on what we talked about last week with the MLS, but the World Cup is coming up this summer, so that's kind of a big deal. So the U.S. men's national team. I don't think you guys are following soccer all that much, but we have not been great over the last couple of years, and we should be better. We're a big country. We have a lot of athletes. We fired our old coach. We brought in a new coach. He's from
Don't
Italy.
we have like one of the best soccer players in the world now? Like
Christian Pulisic.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
Christian
Yeah.
Pulisic. He plays for Milan in Italy. He's very good. They missed the World Cup a couple years ago. So it's probably might only be his second or is it his third? I don't know. But his first time with the U.S. team, he was having his prom when he
Wow.
was
That's nuts.
competing for the freaking World Cup, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So he's like in his mid to late 20s at this point, but still definitely one of the best players. It's by far the best American in the world.
Mm.
But there's been
what's
some.
your high hopes for him? I mean, they're gonna go far.
Well, I think anytime for the U.S., anytime we're in a World Cup, you just want to get outside of the group stage. That's always been like if you
At the round
so
robin
what
at
they
the beginning.
that's the round robin, right? So there's 4 teams. Everybody plays each other once, and the top 2 teams usually make it. Now they've made some changes to the format. Sometimes the third place team might make it if they have enough points. But if you make it in the top 2, you're guaranteed. And if you're in the first place position, you play a weaker team in the first round robin. Or in the first elimination game, because then it becomes an elimination tournament. So
Actually,
we
do
always
like
said
watching the World Cup. It's fun.
the World Cup, I mean, it's so much fun. And of course, it's in the United States this year, as well as Mexico and Canada. It's the first time ever they've they've done more than one country. So now it's a North American tour. So the United States team automatically qualifies, and that's the way it always works. The host team always qualifies,
Nice.
which makes sense. Yeah. So the last time we hosted, was it 94, 98, something like that. I should know, but I didn't do research. But you remember that was Alexi Lawless. You guys remember that, right? The red-haired guy.
Sure. Yeah.
Mm,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
David Beckham.
No,
And
this
then
is
like
before
Beckham.
that. Unbelievable. Anyhow, we did pretty good back then, and soccer was not a big thing. Soccer has become a long way in the
Football,
U.S.
Brevin. It's football.
Yeah,
Since
football.
then. That's right, football. That's how I like to call it, but I don't want to alienate any of our listeners here
Mm,
that might not
sure.
know. I'm not talking about American football. I'm talking about the world's game. But
You know what I
anyhow,
like
so we
about
had,
it? I like about it
yeah.
is same with like USA Hockey is like it gets the whole country like watching their one team.
Yeah.
Everybody can come together
Yeah.
for that instead of
Yeah. And
all
people
other
that,
professional sports. It's cities
sure.
and states.
And
So
people that aren't traditionally soccer fans, football fans, whatever, they get behind this. It's exciting, it's big, especially with it being in the United States. This summer will be huge. Now, we
mhm.
don't have any games in St. Louis. Kansas City has games. I'm not planning on going to any games, but certainly plan on being at a bar,
You
watch
don't want to take the
party, whatever the
podcast on
case
the
may
road, go to a
be.
game, and
You never know. By June, July, we could be huge. It's gonna be huge.
hey, that's not bad. That's not
That
bad.
wasn't bad. So you never know. We might do it. But
So
but
no
all of a
games in St.
sudden,
Louis, huh?
no games in St. Louis, which is a bummer. We don't really have a good enough stadium. Like the new stadium we have downtown, Energizer Park is great, but it's not big enough for a World Cup. It's
Yeah.
great for
And do it
MLS.
in the dome, I guess, or what?
You'd have to do it in the dome, but the dome is shit. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. It's
So they do it
not,
where are they
we
doing it
have
in Kansas City? They're doing it at
at
the
Arrowhead.
Arrowhead? Yeah.
Yeah, which fits what, 80,000 people or
Yeah.
whatever
That
it
would be
is,
pretty
So
badass.
yeah, it'll trust me, it'll be very cool. Now I don't know if the US has it. I don't think the US has a game there. And so the other thing is they've expanded the field this year. It's bigger. So
Mm.
there's teams that don't traditionally get in. Curacao just qualified. You guys
Curacao,
even
huh?
know what that country is?
Isn't that a
Curacao?
drink?
The blue one.
Where do where do you think it comes from? It comes from the country, which I actually, so with the company that I'm with now, and I won't say who it is per se, but we have a hotel in Curacao. We have a couple, and for 10 years I had never been to Curacao, and last year I went there twice. So
How
it's
is
just
it?
kind of funny. Yeah, it's a very nice. Yeah,
Highly
it's a.
recommended.
The drink's back.
They had
The
some.
drink's
They had some
better. That's all I
cool.
got.
They did have some. They did have some good craft beer. I did. I'm there for work. I don't have time to like get out and explore as much as I would like to. But we did go to like downtown, which was very cool. A lot of shopping, a lot of culture, a lot of colors. But they're known for their beaches. So they have a lot of cool. So what if you're down there on vacation, what you do is you rent a Jeep or something and you go beach hopping and you bring a cooler and you just do an hour at this beach, an hour at that beach, and you just keep going because they got like 100 something beaches on the island. So, but this will be the biggest thing for them. Like I don't know if they've ever qualified for the World Cup. Who else? Scotland just qualified for the first time in a long time.
Oh,
Norway,
Scots.
who
Scots
has
are coming.
yeah, the
Nice.
Scots, they're coming.
Great Scott.
Norway, who have great Scott. Norway has the best striker in the world right now. They just qualified for the first time in a long time. So we'll have a lot of new
Like
teams. A lot
Bolivia, are
of,
they in it?
I don't know. They do qualify, I think, on occasion, but
Serbia?
I don't know. It hasn't all been figured out. There's like I think Italy just lost.
So who's the top?
Oh,
Who's the top teams?
well, Brazil,
Spain.
Spain, Germany,
Argentina.
England, Argentina.
Chile? They
Let's
any
see
good?
who. Yeah, they're good, but not like that good.
Colombia?
Colombia is definitely good. Mexico, they're ranked above the United States. Belgium, the Netherlands,
So where would you say the US
Croatia.
ranks like Top
So
20 maybe?
I looked this up just the other day, and we bounce around a little bit, but we've had a lot of games recently, which is why this was on the docket. So we've actually been on a really good stretch, kind of out of nowhere. So they have these international breaks, is what it's called. So when you have regular soccer, they'll take a week off, and everybody that's playing international will go play for their team. So there's no club soccer. So like the Premier League took a week off, right, over in England. So the U.S. is currently ranked 15th in the world,
Not bad.
which is, I mean,
Yeah.
pretty good. I mean, you
Yeah,
can't
out of like
complain
300
about that.
countries, I mean, that's pretty good.
Right, exactly. Yeah. We probably, like, a lot of people will say that because of our size, we should be better than that. Like, we
Bigger
have
is
a
better, right?
huge pool. Right. You have a lot of players to pull from. But of course, we have the NFL and the NBA, and all of
Yeah,
our
it's just
best
not as
athletes
popular of a sport, you know. It's growing,
traditionally
but
are playing other sports. But it is weird because we talked about this the other day. Growing up, everybody plays soccer, right? Of
it's
course,
big
we
in St.
did.
Louis, so I mean, it's bigger here
Of
than it
course,
is in most
you're right.
places.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. It's, especially youth soccer is very
Is that
popular.
because it's
Uh,
easier? Is that what?
well, it's more affordable historically.
You just need a
Although,
ball.
yeah, right. You need shin guards, shoes, and a soccer ball. Which is why it's the world's game. I mean, you can play it on sand, you can play it on dirt, you can play it on grass, you can play it on AstroTurf, whatever it may be. But we just beat Uruguay, who is historically very strong team. Now, I looked it up. They're only ranked 14th in the world, so only one spot better than the United States. But
Still a
we
top
just beat
team,
them,
you know.
still a top team. And we didn't just beat them, we handed it to them. And this was
Nice.
on Tuesday night, so I was able to watch the game here in the
Made him our
Dominican
bitch.
Republic. So I had the Blues game on, which we lost in overtime, much like tonight, and I had the soccer game on, and we won 5-1 against
Whew.
Uruguay. It was a beatdown,
Yeah.
a beatdown.
Yeah, they don't want to
And we
face
had a
us
lot of
again.
yeah, for sure. And I don't think historically we've done well against them. We beat Paraguay, who's also a good team, not Uruguay quality, but we beat them a couple of nights earlier, 2-1. We tied Ecuador, I think, 1-1, which is a good team. So all of a sudden, we're kind of on the up and
Yeah.
up. So and the thing is,
Anything can
and our
happen,
coach,
you know.
the coach came out and said it. These games are technically friendlies for us because we've already qualified for the World Cup. So some of these other countries are playing games to qualify, so they mean something. But for us, they don't mean anything. So
So they're going
is
on
that a good
loose
thing? Is
and
that a
playing
bad thing?
well.
Right.
Yeah.
But the coach came out and said, hey, none of these games are friendlies anymore. Like, we're playing for our lives. We're playing to, grow and get better. Now, Christian Pulisic wasn't playing in this game, but things are starting to get, serious. And next summer will be a lot of fun.
Nice.
Whether you're traditionally into soccer or not, I think it'll be a lot of fun.
I think we'll all be following it.
I think so. I'll make you guys follow it.
I mean,
if
it's going to
nothing
be
else.
going on all over the country, right?
No,
Oh, 100%. Yeah, yeah. For all the different cities. And so it starts in June and it ends in mid-July. And the early games, much like the NCAA tournament, there's games every day for
Yeah.
the first couple weeks. And
Yeah,
then
you won't
then
even
it
be
starts
able to
being
ignore
like,
it. It's going to be everywhere.
no, no, it'll be everywhere. Yeah, yeah. And really, we were pretty young when it was in the US the last time, 10 years old or whatever. So I think it'll be more in focus this time. All right,
I'm
that's
looking
all I
forward to it.
have. What else? What else do you guys have? Anything going on?
I had kind of a crazy weekend. Was in the ER for a couple days.
What? You didn't say anything about this.
Yeah, I know. I just thought I'd surprise the podcast. I didn't want the
What?
I didn't want
A
the listeners
hernia?
to worry.
A
Actually,
hernia from all the working out?
no, a hiatal hernia I have in my stomach, I guess. But so I'll start at the beginning. It's a little long, but so we were going to the school auction on Saturday night, and we were getting
Yeah.
ready to go. And I was like, all right, I'm going to take my vitamins before I go, so I don't forget when I get home, you know. And so I go to take it, and had kind of trouble swallowing one of them, and it felt like it got stuck, like in my throat.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
you know,
been
have you
there.
ever had that happen?
Of
So I'm
course. Yeah.
drinking water, just trying to get it, and it just never going away, right? So hours going by, and like eating food at the auction, you know, it's like just doesn't seem like it wants to go down. And so I'm telling my wife is like, I think I need to go to the hospital because I'm looking at on the internet like, yeah, if you get
Yeah,
something stuck in your esophagus, it could be bad, right? Over
sure.
time, if it doesn't move down. So go to the ER, uh, this one here in South County, and then they try and treat it. They give me some this weird like almost cough medicine taste and stuff. It's like real thick goop. It's supposed
Yeah,
to grab anything loose in your esophagus and push it down in your stomach. That doesn't help. They give me some soda, say drink that. The bubbles will help. Doesn't help. So they end up sending me home. They're like, give me some steroids. Send me home. Like follow up with the GI doctor, right? So all right, whatever. So I leave, go home, take like a hot shower, tried to get whatever if it was loose, maybe would go away. Drink more water, uh, go to bed. It's about midnight at this time, 12:30. Wake up at 3 in the morning or 2:30, something like that. It's no better. It actually feels worse. So I'm not like choking, but like just not going down, right? So I'm like
yeah,
looking on the internet and looking at Grok, right? And Grok's like, hey, it's been 9 hours. If something's in there, like in the first 24 hours, like you need to get it taken care of because if it
yeah.
progresses past that, you can get like a perforation in your throat. Then you can get sepsis, all this stuff. So it's like, okay, I'm kind of freaking out a little bit. So I told Jenny, I was like, I'm gonna drive myself back and go to the hospital. So then I go to the big Mercy hospital. I'm like, I'm not going to the little one. I'm going to go to the big one. If they have more staff,
Yeah,
maybe they'll help me.
sure.
So I go there and get to the ER again. I'm like the only one, which was kind of nice that
That's
early
not
in the
right.
morning.
Yeah, yeah.
So they see me right away, get me in there, and the doc comes in. He's like, well, it's probably not a big deal. He's like, but we'll do a CT scan on you with some contrast to see if we can see anything in there. I was like, all right, so we do that, and it's probably 8 in the morning at this point. Get that done. He comes back. He's like, well, that came back negative, so we're gonna have you go back, follow up with the GI, and send you home. And I was the whole time I'm just because I'm waiting in there by myself. I'm just on the phone looking, and I was like, "Well, hey Grok, what happens if he comes back and it says the CT's negative?" He's like, "Well, don't go, don't leave." So it's like, he's like, "Don't check out, don't let him dismiss you or whatever." So I told the doctor, I was like, "So I'm not." He's like, he told me the doctor said it's not 100% the CT. It might, if it's something that it won't pick up, the only
Right.
100% way to know is to do an endoscopy, like with the scope, right?
That's what I was thinking.
So he comes back in, he tells me it's negative, and I'm like, all right, well, what do we do next? He's like, well, you can follow up with the doctor. We'll discharge. I was like, no, I'm not leaving. Like, I came here at 3 in the morning. Like, I've
Yeah.
been to the ER twice now. I'm not going and coming back. He's like, well, that's not how this works. I was like, well, that's how it's going to work today. Like, this is like, do you have a patient advocate or somebody I can talk to? Or I just want to talk to the GI doctor.
Yeah.
And he's like, so he got all kind of bent out of shape. And I'm like, hey, man, like, I respect your opinion or your expert opinion here, but I'm just doing what I think's right for myself. And I'm not leaving until, I get checked out, right? So he's like, all right. He sends the charge nurse in, I guess, and she's talking to me. And I'm telling her, I'm like, the whole situation. She's like, well, this is Saturday, or I guess it'd be Sunday morning at that point. She's like, well, we can admit you, or the two options, we can discharge you, you can go to a GI doctor, follow up with them, or we can admit you and you can see a GI doctor here, but it'd probably be like Monday or, whenever they can get to you. I was like, well, that's fine, admit me, because I'll probably see the doctor faster that way than I would if I was to go schedule it myself.
Oh, if you go home and ask for an appointment, it
Yeah, it
could be
could be a week
Oh,
weeks.
yeah.
or months, who
Yeah,
knows?
Yeah,
So
I'm
right.
I'm like, all
dying,
right,
but no big deal.
yeah,
No big
exactly.
deal. Yeah,
So I'm like, yeah, okay, fine, admit me. And Grok the whole time is like, yeah, if they admit you, they're going to see you. And so I tell it, I was like, all right, they said they were going to admit me. He's like, all right, they'll set you up and they'll do an endoscopy. Like the GI doctor will know, and that's their bread and butter. They do them all the time. They're going to do it right away. I was like, all right, whatever you say, Shortly after, like an hour later, one of the other nurses comes in. She's like, "Oh, the GI doctor said they're going to see you this morning." I was like, "You sons of
yeah.
bitches! They just lie to your face."
That's
Anyway,
unbelievable.
so they wheel me in there. it's like a 15-minute procedure, right, for this
Yeah.
endoscopy.
Yeah.
Get put like under twilight and then come back out. And it's funny because the doctor starts talking to you when you're still like half all fucked up, you know. It's like, and she hands me like this printout of what they did, and they had a bunch of pictures, and they took all the pictures. They went all the way through my stomach and checked it all out, right?
Yeah.
And they did find it was like something called well, they had a hiatal hernia, right, in the stomach, which they think causes this thing called a Schatzki ring. Have you ever heard of this? It's like
Mm-mm.
it's right above your stomach in your esophagus, and it's kind of like a restriction on your esophagus. And one of the causes is like the hiatal hernia. And what she did was they stick a balloon in there, and they actually pump the balloon up and expand it to help,
Yeah.
food can get back down through much easier. So I was like, and after I woke up, I felt it wasn't like 100%, but I was like probably 80% better at that point, like right away. I was like, okay, I can
Yeah. You can
tell
tell
a
the
difference
difference.
already. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's still another few hours after that because they like keep you around for some observation time. And then I got discharged. It was probably 2 and 3 in the afternoon. Went home and felt better. I was like, but who knows how long like it would have taken
You
me.
know, I was to say this is one of the huge benefits of AI because people don't know. And you're like, well, I'm just going to take my doctor's word for it, right? You
Hmm.
assume that they're looking out for your best interest,
Right.
but they're not. They're looking out for their best interest and what makes their life easier.
Well, if
But
they
I
can
don't
get you
necessarily
out of
fault them
there,
for that because
somebody
right,
else's
yeah.
problem.
Exactly. And they're churning and burning. They got new people coming in, especially to the
Hmm.
ER. I get that. And so I've used AI, GPT or whatever for a lot of things like this, not specifically in the ER, but where I'm like, I don't know. Like, what is the general consensus? Like, and it tells you like
Right.
do this or don't listen to them. So this is, I
Hmm.
think, a prime example of where you essentially have your own personal health
Right.
consultant,
Yeah, it was pretty
right?
nice.
That's helping you make these decisions. And one, how much time did it save? Two, how much money did it
Right.
save you? I'm sure this costs a lot of money regardless. Hopefully insurance takes care of most of it. But if you have to go see a specialist and you have
Hmm.
multiple follow-up appointments, and that could end up costing more money.
Right. Well, I would have been on a
Ugh.
steroid from the first ER that I didn't need to be on. They they
Right.
they wrote
Sure.
that script and then they took it out, like because they're like, you don't need that. Uh, and like the whole time, I asked, my neighbor, he's in deals with doctors, he's in medical sales, and I'm asking him, and he's like, I don't know. He's like, I know a GI doctor I could call, but and Jenny, I'm like asking my wife, just am I being crazy about this? And the doctors are all trying to push me out. So nobody really thinks that there's like an issue. I'm like, I
Yeah,
just don't feel right.
right.
And the AI is the only, like, he's like, or it,
Well,
whatever, is like, no, this is kind of what could happen. And, this is what you need to do. And
But what
it's
don't
like,
back
caused it in the
down.
first
Right.
place? Like, what caused the actual restriction?
Hernia.
Yeah,
that I don't know. I don't know if they really know how those are caused. They said that's pretty common. Like a lot of
okay.
people have. I mean, you might go your whole life without ever even knowing,
Right, right.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of jokes about how hernias are the 40-year-old dad's disease. Disease
What
isn't
you
the
get
right
when you get
word, but
old.
like
Yeah.
that's what you get when you get old and you're carrying kids and they're jumping on you and you're lifting them up and all kinds of stuff that you're at some point as a 40-year-old dad, you're going to get a hernia. So,
Is
But I've
well,
actually used it even since then for like, because it's still not like fully healed or anything, right? Because when they
mhm,
expand it, they do some,
yeah,
damage,
yeah.
but it's got to heal, like 7 to 14 days. Like certain foods, like I would eat it, and then I'd be like, man, I'm having these issues again. It's like, oh, well, that food, you shouldn't be eating that food. Like you should be eating this food. It's like
yeah,
I need to
sure.
run all this
Yeah.
by you before I can even eat now.
I, I make hardly any decisions without consulting AI.
Just ask
Shout out
what's
to
that
Elon.
robot?
You're doing great.
Yeah, exactly. The robot.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
The
well, glad you're
Crockbot.
okay, Duds. I mean,
Yeah.
never fun, that's for sure.
Getting old sucks, right?
Yes, it does.
Life's a bitch, and then
Yes,
you
it does. That's right. That might be the title. You never
Now I'm
know.
sipping on chamomile tea to help with my.
All right, we're coming up with titles left and right. Sipping on my chamomile tea. That's a good title too. What else, Nilla? What are you up to?
I don't know, not much. I was off work today, and actually I'm off tomorrow, so
Nice,
not
nice,
really doing much though. So
good. See, the thing that's like, I don't get home till
Got the
Sunday.
Nate
I get
Dogg.
home
Got the
late.
Nate Dogg schedule.
That's right. I know. Oh, I wish I had that schedule. Playing. What's he playing right now?
Fallout, I
Fallout.
think. Yeah.
Yeah.
something old,
I'm gonna
probably.
work one. I'm gonna work one case today, and then I'm gonna play Fallout. I'm like, one case? What are you talking about,
I'm
dude?
done before 8 a.m.
Well, then his girlfriend, he's funny. Well, his ex, his friends with benefits, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, I really wanted to leave, so like we're gonna do this date Wednesday night, do whatever they're gonna do, and then I'm just gonna wake up and play Fallout." That was his text, and then hopefully she'll get the point. Then his very next text is, "Oh,
We're
we're
going
gonna
to
go
breakfast?
to the shack." Yeah, I'm like, dude, I'm like, these things are not computing. Do you want her to leave? You're taking her out on a date now?
Hold on, are you
Like, what is
working?
going on?
Or you're
Well,
working
that's
while you're
the other
doing that.
thing.
Yeah.
Well, then he also said something about like, oh, I didn't realize my day off was on Thursday. I'm like, well, why are you off on Thursday? You just took a day off? You
Yeah,
know, I
right.
think that's
Good
what he's
question.
doing. He's taking a sick day and a day off every week. So he's only working 3 days a week. And then he only has to go into the office 1 day a week. So the other 2 days, he's really just playing Fallout.
So is he on the PIP
Uh,
yet, or what? I mean,
he's asking for it, but I don't think they're going to put him on it.
I can't get
Like,
fired. I can't get fired,
it is.
Jerry.
Yeah, he's got to do the what was that the naked
Yeah, the
naked
naked
man
man.
or whatever.
Hey, naked
yeah, yeah,
man.
yeah. Well, they called him
Bodysuit man.
bodysuit guy,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, or whatever. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well, shout out to Nate Dogg. Hopefully, you figure it out and you get your unemployment, dude. But yeah, so I don't get back until Sunday night, and then I have to work Monday, Tuesday. You know, and then I think I am off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for the holidays. But
This never ends, man.
well, it's like where's my actual weekend? I have to work the weekend and then I have to work. I'm like, I don't get a day off, and I'm gonna trade day. Ugh. But I don't know. It's all right. I'm in Punta Cana.
Go to the beach tomorrow. You'll be all right.
yeah,
So I don't have anything tomorrow until 4 p.m. and then I'm busy from 4 until 10. So I have a little bit of time. I can
Yeah.
hit the beach or hit
What's
the
the weather
pool or something like that. It's nice. I mean, we're up in this outside of Punta Cana. It's called Meeches. It's like the new up and coming trendy spot. So they got these mountains that are right behind us, and then the beach on the other side. So it's super cool. But I feel like these storm clouds or rain clouds come over the mountains, and it'll rain for like 10 minutes, and then it'll be perfect. So you never quite know. I mean, it's the tropics, you know.
Right.
It rains and it's beautiful, and it is what it is. So you never know. But I'll play it by ear tomorrow.
Did you see earlier? I don't know if you went outside, Duds, or not, but like it was freaking super like misty, but like
misty,
also
Almost
fog.
looked like snow. Yeah.
Kinda. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was weird, but it's also
Now,
like
it hasn't gotten too cold though, right? Back home.
no, I mean it's like
50,
56
55,
degrees or
yeah.
something. Yeah.
All right. Because I still have my Scotch bonnet plant I left outside because it said it wasn't gonna freeze.
No.
My
Not
neighbor
at
down
least
the street
until
got some
Thursday.
Yeah,
new
until I get
bonsai
home.
trees he put in.
Bonsai?
Yeah, bonsai.
Is that the time?
Who does he think he is? Is that the
Well, he's Asian,
Ralph
so he likes
Macchio?
Karate Kid.
Karate
Asian.
Kid, yeah.
He got like
Oh,
6
well, all
or
right.
7
Way to
new
be-
bonsai trees. Yeah.
Way to be racist.
Who?
Aren't those actually? I'm not sure which ones they are specifically. I thought it was bonsai, but one of
They
them are
look
like
cool.
super
They're like-
expensive.
Yeah, they are. He said they were.
I think
like
they
$500
are.
or
I think they're
$600.
expensive. Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I
and
was
then you
thinking
cut them
pounds.
all up.
Well, no, these aren't that big. Like,
Well, maybe it's a certain kind then, because the one bonsai tree, they're like seriously like only like this big. They're like thousands of dollars.
oh no, it wasn't that much. He showed me
They're
one
like
that was
hundreds
like
of
years
this
old.
big.
In Cobra Kai, he gave them out to
Antique
anybody that
or-
bought a car. So they can't be that expensive.
No,
Wow, that's a movie.
Not based
but
on
they
this
are
old
they
TV
are
show.
pricey though. They are pricey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're cool looking trees though. I like them.
Yeah. Bonsai.
What are you doing on your days off there, Nilla?
I don't know. I need to find something. Maybe like work or something.
Well, now you have a
This
you
is
have
what he's doing.
a
He's
murder
joining the
investigation.
podcast.
You got a murder
That's
investigation.
right. Right.
Solving.
Yes. Nancy.
Going to Costco.
Not trying to make light of Nancy.
Bed Bath
Right.
and
So I
Beyond.
want to throw that out
Don't know if
there.
you have enough time.
Oh, speaking of Nancy, you know what else is coming on here in 6 days, I think, is Stranger Things.
Stranger Things. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I looked it up, and so it comes out on Wednesday before Thanksgiving, which I think is perfect. So I figure kids go to bed Wednesday night. We at least watch one episode.
Yeah.
You know, right? So
I started
did I
watching
tell you guys?
the
Go ahead.
Better Call Saul. I got to try and finish that.
Yeah, you're picking that up.
Never seen it.
I'm telling you, it's great.
So I realized
Oh,
I'm
it's
like,
so good.
I think I had watched like half of the. I don't think
Yeah.
I saw all the 5th season, so I started
Oh,
rewatching the
you made it
5th
pretty
season.
pretty far then. Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
but
far.
I'm pretty sure I have not got the 6th season at all. So
Well, those are the best. Five and six are the best, and that's what I said the other week. Is Breaking Bad was only 5 seasons, and its prequel, Better Call Saul was 6, which is pretty
yeah, and
crazy.
what's the new one? Because
So-
that one's got even
so-
higher ratings now.
Yeah, so that's what's funny is Breaking Bad is Vince Gilligan's lowest rated TV show
Yeah.
at the moment.
Crazy.
It's
That's crazy.
crazy. Yeah, so Pluribus is like 100% right now. Everybody's
Pluribus.
loving on it, which is
What's it
great.
about?
Yeah, it's 3 episodes in, and it's I don't want to like spoil it per se, but
What's
it's
just
kind
the
of like
premise of it?
the premise is the way that they marketed it is that there's one woman who's the most miserable woman in the world, and everybody else in the world wants to make her happy. Which on that premise alone, you're kind of like, okay, what sense does that make? But when you watch the first episode, it very clearly becomes obvious that it's kind of like a zombie show. So there's like a universal consciousness for everybody in the world, and I won't explain how or why that happens, but there's a couple people that are unaffected and for reasons we don't know yet don't join the universal consciousness. And of course she's pissed because all individuality, all her friends and family, they're all not themselves anymore. So it's unique, it's interesting, and we're only 3 episodes in, but it's very
it hooked
good.
ya?
So I highly recommend it. Oh yeah, we're gonna every Friday now. Although I won't be home, so we'll
So they're
have to
doing
watch it
one
Sunday
one
night, maybe.
episode releases.
I think they released the first 2 episodes, and then once a week from there on out. So tomorrow will be the 4th episode of I didn't look, but 8 or 10 or something like that. And I
Is that
think
on
they said they
Netflix?
plan Apple. They're planning on 3 seasons, I think they said at a minimum. So, and they'll do it because Vince Gilligan's too big. They're not gonna cancel it.
He's
The
killing
reviews
it,
are too
man.
good, but yeah, I know he's great. And like I said, I gave that X-Files shout out the other day. But yeah, he's just good. All of his shows are good. Better Call Saul's great, and we all know about Breaking Bad. So if you're interested in that, go check out Pluribus. It's good. I
It
like it.
sounds like she
I like
just
it.
needs sex. I don't know.
Well, I won't go into all of that,
Oh,
but that
okay.
might be that might be a topic. Her name is Ray Seahorn, the actress. I don't know how old she is, but like she's definitely like older than us, middle age, but she's very attractive.
Her name's not Karen.
Her name's not Karen. No, I don't remember. I don't even know what her name is in the show, but she's good looking in Better Call Saul too, and of course she's younger back then.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, but she's good looking.
She
For
was
sure.
in Better Call Saul.
Yeah, I know. What's her name?
Is it the lawyer?
The girlfriend. Yeah, the
Oh,
lawyer.
okay. All right.
Yeah. So Vince Gilligan wrote the show Pluribus specifically for her.
Okay.
Like he knew like this is going to be my star. So,
Gotcha.
and I think I said it the other day. She's late in life. She became an actress. She doesn't really have much before Better
Yeah, I
Call
don't think
Saul.
I remember seeing her in anything else other than that.
No. No. So check it out. That's good. And I was going to say, did I tell you? I think I told you guys. I went, months ago. I went and saw the Stranger Things Broadway show.
Yeah.
Did we talk about this on the podcast?
You know, but you told us about it.
No.
Was it pretty good?
It was freaking good.
You saw the Back
And
to the
I don't
Future
know.
one too, didn't you?
I did, and that was really good too. Yeah, I saw that on Broadway, and even Caroline, who's like not into Back to the Future like I am. She was at the end of it. She was like, "Oh my God, I loved it!" Like she loved it. It was so good.
We just watched
And
the trilogy
Better-
with the kids this past weekend.
Oh yeah, it's great, and I can't wait till my kids are old enough that I can go like watch that. They do have to
That's
be
my.
a little.
It's
I mean,
probably my
there's-
favorite. My favorite.
Well, it
movies.
definitely, for sure, because they're just great. But there's a little bit of that Oedipus complex in there, and so like watching
Oh,
it
yeah.
with kids, I don't know. For the most
Yeah.
part, it's pretty tame, but there is that. But so Stranger Things on Broadway, you don't like have to watch it. It's not a requirement. I don't think there's any way to watch it unless you see it on Broadway. But it connects, season four and season five, and the story was phenomenal. And normally when we go Broadway stuff, we're seeing musicals and things like that. And this was not that. It's just a play,
Mm.
traditional play, which I don't know. I'm not like a Broadway guru, but I'm not used to seeing plays. I'm used to
Mhm.
seeing musicals, and the special effects were out of control for like on a stage. The story was phenomenal. There is a documentary on Netflix about the Broadway show, but I don't think it doesn't go into the story. So, but anyhow, so I'm excited. We were talking about this, I think, the other week. I got to watch the recaps. So I don't have
Uh,
time to go back and
Oh,
rewatch them all.
right.
So I think when I get
Yeah, what has
home,
it
I'm going to
been?
tell
2, 3
Caroline.
years?
Yeah, oh yeah, at
4 years?
least
Something.
I'm going to say. So I'll be home Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So there's been 4 seasons. So maybe we watch a recap of each season on YouTube every day, which might be 30 minutes a day, depending on how involved the recaps are, uh, to try and
Recaps
get
for
caught
30
up.
minutes? I mean, the show's only,
It
well, I guess it's the
depends.
whole
Yeah, I know.
season. Yeah,
Well,
okay.
it's the whole season, and there's
Yeah.
some recaps that'll be 3 minutes, and then if you go and look on YouTube, there'll be other ones that are like 30 minutes, and you can pick whatever one you want. Just depends on how much time you have and how involved you want to get in the recap. But
I know. So I did that
I
for
don't
Better
know.
Call Saul because I was like, oh, I need to
Yeah.
do these recaps. They don't, I mean, the 2, 3 minute ones, they don't tell you anything. Like some of them
Yeah.
are an hour
No,
long.
right. Well, that's why you can't rely on the ones that like Netflix does, right? Because they'll do a 2 or 3 minute recap of season four, but then season five will go all the way back to like season one stuff, and you're
Hmm.
like, I don't effing remember what the hell happened to
Right.
to the redhead. I don't even remember her name, right? Who was the redhead? Barb from season
Barb.
one. Yeah, Barb. Barb the redhead.
I feel
She
like
didn't make it.
who's the main girl
Spoiler.
in Stranger Things? What's her name?
11.
But her actress name.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Billy
Billy
Bobby Brown.
Millie Bobby.
Millie Bobby Brown. Yeah.
She was like a little, like they all were little
Yeah.
kids when that show
Yeah.
started. And now she's like, how old is she now?
21,
I like 21, I think.
22.
Looks a lot
21,
different.
22, give or take. She married John Bon Jovi's son, and then they adopted a kid. So I knew they had a kid. I didn't realize it was adopted. I just assumed she was pregnant or whatever, but they adopted the kid, and she's only like 21 or 22.
Yeah. We were talking about this the other
So,
day,
I mean,
and
to
Jane
see him
said
grow up.
she probably didn't want to ruin her body. And I was like, well, I guess that makes sense. She's only 21, So
Well, she's young, but maybe it was something different. I don't want to speculate.
yeah,
Maybe
right.
they
Who knows?
wanted, maybe they really wanted to adopt him, but they are young. Like that's the thing. Of course, they have a bunch of money.
He's young
Not
too.
only her, but then he's from money. So I don't know. So
Not good for them.
all right. Well, it is 12:30 my time.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm
Long
2
one.
hours ahead. I've got some pizza that just got delivered.
Oh, did it come?
Yeah, it came. Yeah, so ready to go for my room service. So I think the time to call it quits. We're about an hour and a half in, a little bit more than an hour and a half in. I'll make the post. I'll keep you guys posted once it's all live, and we'll put it out on X this time, Duds. I'll get it out on TikTok and Facebook. Like I said, at some point we got to start like telling our friends and
What is
family.
it? NFNPpod.com? Is that the?
Peapod.com. We got a website. That's
Yeah,
right.
I saw that.
Good call out, Duds. So nfnppod.com, our new website, is up and running. It's got our episodes on it. It's got our about section on it. A couple of other things. At some point, we can put in. I haven't done this yet because I didn't have your permission. We can put in our host profiles.
Ooh,
So a
nice.
headshot and a profile if we want to do that.
In serious.
All you listeners, if you enjoyed this show, please share it.
Right. We got to do that,
If you
right?
made
If
it
you
this
listen to
far.
any of that, if you made it this far, click like,
You're the true fans.
follow. Yeah, you're the true fans.
We wanna
right?
hear
Follow
from
the
Yeah.
above link. Oh wait, there's nothing there.
Right. Am I going to do
Click
that? That's the question.
subscribe. Click subscribe.
Yeah, click. Yeah. I joked about putting stuff in the show notes earlier. The question is, am I really going to do that? I don't know. We'll see. I'll say I'm going to do it, but I do have some time tomorrow, so I'll edit everything. I'll put it up, and I appreciate the time, and I'm glad we were able to work it out because last week we said we were going to take a week off, but we can't lose the momentum,
Yeah.
right? Can't lose the
I enjoy
momentum.
it too
So,
much. I hope the fans are enjoying it too.
That's right. That's right. All right. Well, peace out. We'll come to you. Maybe we'll do a special Thanksgiving episode next week. We'll see. Duds, you're traveling though, aren't you?
Yeah, but they got Google Fiber up there, so
That's right.
Perfect. Excellent. All right. Well, let's do a recording next week. We'll come at you for Thanksgiving. And peace out. NFNPers Posse. See you
all
later,
right,
Posse.
later.
This number has been disconnected.